Hi, this is Steve Feaster with your Total Lean Challenge. This is Friday's full body workout, and it is truly going to be a challenge. All right, 9 exercises, 3 sets each exercise. You can take 60 seconds rest in between sets and exercises, and we're going to perform these for 8 to 12 repetitions. The 8 to 12 repetitions is the most important part when picking the resistance. We want to make sure we pick a resistance that we fatigue between 8 and 12 rep range. If it's too light, we're going to be able to go a little too far. It's not going to be as efficient. If it's too heavy, it's going to be unsafe. So let's make sure that we really pay attention to our resistance. We'll go into tools right before we do each exercise. The first exercise is going to be a dumbbell squat. I don't care if you keep the dumbbells in a low rack position or if you put them on the rack here. It doesn't matter. What does matter is where your core is and what it's doing as you descend. I like to keep my hands down. Make sure the first thing we do is hinge back at the hips, weighting up the heels. Now my glutes and quads are ready. I come down and up. Again, my shoulders can't be forward and my head can't be forward. The core is the most important part of this exercise. Pushing down against the ground with my heels, pushing out on my knees, doing that for 8 to 12 repetitions. The next exercise is an overhead lunge. Now, I either use one dumbbell or I'll use a bar. Today, I'm going to show you this with one dumbbell. The most important thing here is that the arm stays straight up and locked. Now, I begin by stepping out into my normal lunge. My core has to stabilize and I press up. I'm alternating sides. Keep that arm squared away. Overhead walking lunge. Again, 8 to 12 repetitions. The next exercise is going to be a chest press, but using a fit ball. That's going to perturb our core stability just a little bit. That's going to help us learn to accentuate core stability. Come on out, bridge up. My shoulder blades are really steady on the ball. I'm using my base to continue keeping myself stabilized. I press up and back. Make sure that you keep your shoulders back and down against the ball. 8 to 12 repetitions. 3 sets, you can rest 60 seconds between each set. Fantastic. After 8 to 12 repetitions of the chest press, we move straight into dumbbell flies on a bench. If you'd like to stay on the fit ball, feel free to do that. I'm going to move to the bench, dumbbell flies. My bottom and my shoulder blades are back. My stomach is lifted up, my low back is lifted up. That helps pin my shoulders against the bench to give me something to push off of. Now the fly movement, my arms stay relatively straight, 80 to 90% straight. My palms are up and together and I pull in. Try not to let your arms bend too much. If they bend too much, you're just back into a press motion again. So remember the fly. We abduct and hold and we adduct. We adduct towards the middle. Stay lifted, don't let your shoulders roll forward. There's the 4 exercises that start us off. Now let's move into our last 5. Moving on to the next 5 exercises, you're going to start off with a pull-up. Now remember, you just had 60 seconds break. Now I'm doing 3 sets of pull-ups, 8 to 12 reps. Start with your hands shoulder width apart, and we pull up best we can. If you can't get 8 to 12 pull-ups, you might need to move to a band. A band's going to help you still continue the same type of motion, but not under that duress, not under that same resistance. After I do 3 sets of pull-ups, then I move to a one-leg shoulder press. The one leg is just going to challenge my balance, which in turn challenges my core. So make sure you keep that stomach nice and tight, shoulders rolled back. Now, we're going to do 4 repetitions, 4 to 6 repetitions on one leg, 4 to 6 on the other, so that we finish our 8 to 12 repetitions. Bring the dumbbells down even with your mouth and extend all the way up. And then switch legs and bump out the rest. After the shoulder press, we're moving straight into dumbbell row. The important thing about a row is that you get your bottom back and your back down so that it's horizontal with the ground and pull your elbows up. Remember, we're trying to work this region here in your lat. All my weight's on my heels, my back must stay straight, not this way. Straight and pull. 8 to 12 repetitions for 3 sets, and I can take 60 seconds break in between, but we really need to try to get that done. Just 60 seconds break. Then next, we're moving into bicep curls, and we're gonna do that on one leg as well. Again, to try to really challenge our balance and our core. Try not to swing. Standing on one leg is going to take a little of that swing away. So 8 to 12 repetitions. Got to slow down a little bit. Now, let's switch every 4 or 6 reps from side to side. Remember, the focus of that is on the biceps. After bicep curls on one leg, we're moving into tricep extensions. Tricep extension is anytime the elbow is extending, we're working the tricep. There's a lot of different ways we can do that. We can use a band and push down. We can use dumbbells and kick back. We could use one dumbbell overhead like a French press. You could do skull crushers with a curl bar. Let me show you just a few variations. Kickbacks, 8 to 12 reps, tricep extension, back is straight, and push back. That's a really good tricep extension. Single dumbbell, overhead. Make sure that this bone is straight up and push up and down. That's a tricep extension as well. You know, we already talked about you could use a band or a push down machine for tricep extensions, or you can lay on a bench and use a curl bar for tricep extension. The important thing there is that you get fatigued within 8 to 12 reps of whatever resistance you choose. So let's summarize real quick. That was 8 to 12 repetitions of 3 sets of each of those exercises with 60 seconds between movements. Then you move on to the next exercise. That was a full body workout, guys. Way to wrap this thing up, and we'll see you next week.